Welcome. I am marketing expert and business coach Melissa Kellogg-Lewick, and this is the Doing Business Like a Woman podcast, where we are exploring and teaching you how women are reinventing the way business is done and money is made to help you create greater impact and financial freedom, one business at a time.
Okay, here we are on location.
Yeah.
It's Silver Paw Studio.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. Thank you so much for having me. I really am glad that you agreed to be on the podcast as a guest, and it's so long overdue.
Aw. And thanks for coming out to the studio. This is fun.
I love it out here. As I was driving, I was thinking, oh, it's so nice I get to come out to the country and just,
Yes.
we have the beautiful vista of the mountains, and it's just such a beautiful place to come.
Yeah.
And before we get too far into this,
Yes.
I need to introduce my guest.
Thank you.
So, ladies, I get to introduce you today to my client and friend, Monique Eckes, CEO of Silver Paw Studio. And Monique works with families, entrepreneurs, and organizations to create custom photos and videos with a focus on making the process fun and collaborative. Her background is in the veterinary industry, and years photographing people and pets shaped a people-first approach that helps clients feel comfortable and seen. In addition to client work, Monique speaks at local and national conferences and supports animal-related causes through her creative work. So welcome, Monique.
Thank you,
So
Melissa.
fun to
This
have
is
you.
fun.
I know.
I never even thought of being a guest on your show, so I'm very honored.
So you're usually the one that is hosting the podcast and
Right.
so forth. So you're usually the one on this side of the interview. So what
Yeah.
is it like being on that side of the interview?
It's nice. The pressure's off.
The pressure's off. You get to just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great to just be a podcast guest sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
This will be
good.
fun.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Until you start yours. Are you going to start one?
Oh, very soon.
Yes.
Very soon.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Yay. Cool. Did I miss anything in the introduction, first of all?
I don't think so.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your history, how you got into this business. You came out of the veterinary industry, and now you're a photographer. Like, that's a good jump. Tell us how
Yeah.
that came together.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go all the way back to my story of how I stole my sister's camera. That's for a different thing. We're fine.
That's a whole different Oprah.
Yes. But fast forward, I just always have a camera in my hand. So when I managed a veterinary practice, I would bring the camera in. So we would have pictures for the lobby and for up on the wall and in our scrapbook. And I just always had my camera with me. And then when I moved to Colorado, I did what was easy for me, which was working at the veterinary hospital. But I missed the photography. I had done senior portraits and families for people I knew because I had a lot of kids in the Northwest. And then when photography finally pulled me back, I just took all my pet clients with me that I knew, because the only people I knew in Colorado were people with pets in the pet industry. And I was the only one around that had experience photographing people. So a lot of times pet photographers don't do anything with people. And then I've been doing that. And then I started a YouTube channel to help other pet photographers at the shelters. And I learned all this amazing stuff about videography and thought, oh my goodness, I need to offer this to the community too. And so everything snowballed together. And it's hard for me to separate them all now. I love doing all of them. As my coach, you know that. You've heard that. Like, how do I let people know that I do the photography and videography? And I get a thrill out of all of it, and mostly getting to know everybody.
Yeah, yeah. That's so cool. So how long ago did you start Silver Paw Studio?
13 years, probably, 14,
Wow.
shortly after I moved here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yay.
So good.
I know, it's fun.
So I know this about you. And now on this end of being like a podcast studio client, I know this from this experience. And I've known from the experience of working with you and photography and just all the other ways we've worked together.
Yeah.
You definitely are a person that makes people feel comfortable and seen. And I was thinking about, there's such an interesting correlation because Monique serves small businesses here in northern Colorado who feel invisible. And also people and pets could feel invisible or intimidated by coming into a studio, being photographed, going on video, that sort of thing. So I think there's such an interesting correlation between that feeling of invisibility and yet wanting to be seen and making your clients, including animals and children, comfortable to be seen. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, how have you created that environment in your business?
There's so many facets to that. It's probably comes from my background of being incredibly shy, so shy. But then when you start a business, you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And then when I was working at the shelters, I volunteered every week at the shelter, and then live streaming came out. So a lot of it comes back to my why. And I did it for the dogs, even though I was scared to be in front of it. It correlates to everything. Like, how many times have you heard women say that they're never in the pictures with their kids? And then suddenly their kids need a picture of them all together and they don't have it. And so the moms are invisible, or the parents are invisible, or people think, oh, it's just my dog. Can I take a picture of my dog? Like, all these insecurities people have that I've had too.
Yeah.
So I really want people to feel like they belong. And no matter who we're photographing, whether it's you, your kid, your dog, or your whole staff, it just stems from my need. And so I could really see that in people. And when you become a business person, suddenly there's one day you're like, oh, I need to be more visible. That's tangibly exactly what I do. So it works out.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is you have that empathy, like you can understand what they might be feeling or thinking about getting in front of the camera and in front of the lights. And but like, what are some of the things that you do maybe to help people feel comfortable?
Oh, okay. So actually, when we're on set, so do you want me to come from the business side, Melissa, or more the pets and people and photography, or touch on all of it?
Yeah, touch on all of it, because I think it's so interesting that you work with animals.
Yeah.
Because animals are I feel like they are very in tune and very intuitive. And so they're no BS creatures where, you can't say a nice thing and make them feel something. Like they intuit what's actually happening.
That's true.
And so they're not going to be comfortable enough to be photographed in as brilliant a ways as you have photographed animals if it really isn't, there's something deeper to you.
I have a sign on the door at the studio that says, welcome to the best day ever. So I want everyone to just have a good time. And actually, I guess that spans all of my services.
Yeah.
So when people bring in their dogs, okay, what do dogs like? They like different treats. They like toys. They like loves. They like to be around their people, maybe jump on furniture they're not used to getting on. They can do all of that here and no judgment. So people aren't required to have blue ribbon dogs or like straight A students. If it's kids that I'm photographing, I just want them to be themselves and have fun with it, whatever that means. And then when they're here, I try to match their energy. And so if a kid is feeling really shy, I'm going to calm down. Or maybe if the dog's extra hyper, I'm going to calm down to show them what they need. And with my business clients, I try to mirror what I want them to do. So since I'm visual, I assume everyone is, and I will sit in a chair and go, okay, so it's going to be like this. And so they're like, oh, okay. And then they'll sit down, or we'll start rolling the camera before I tell them. And we'll just have a chit chat and go, okay, now just go ahead and start. I'm ready. And we can restart anytime. I give people a lot of grace. If we're doing a video project, we could just do the line over. It's not a big deal in that sense. You don't have to get it right first try. So I give people a lot of grace and a lot of understanding, and I try to like visibly be calm too. I actually had a client say once to me, like, are you okay? Because this was very early in my career, because I was stressed out. We were photographing his giant 3-generation family in his very nice home, and I'm trying to get my light just right and get to the right spot. He's, are you okay? I'm like, oh, that's coming out in my body, isn't it? So I've been very careful to emulate the feeling that I want my clients to feel.
Yeah, I love that. So that's intuitive on your part. And so you have that empathy and that acceptance of whatever condition people and animals come to you in. And I know, especially in the world of photographing shelter pets,
Yeah.
because God only knows what they've been through. And yeah, so say a little bit about that work that you do.
Yeah, because it's been hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of dogs and cats and other animals that shelters have. And I try to be quick in when I take the picture.
Yeah.
I'm not moving fast, but once I get the image, I get the image. So they have as little time in front of the camera as possible if they're feeling very anxious about that,
Yeah.
which they often are at the shelter. So that helps. And doing the same thing I do here at the studio as much as I can. Here's treats and loves, and I always have helpers. I think it's integral to have a helper at the shelters, and just watching their threshold. So when they're done, like little kids, like if they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm done. So I'm keeping an eye on that with those shelter animals. And a lot of it's just experience too with them. And every once in a while I bring a dog trainer with me. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that acceptance, and then just making a comfortable atmosphere. And also what I hear you saying, which I think is good for me and for my audience, my listeners, is dropping that need to be perfect and that perfectionism.
Yes. Yes. And like for stuff that I do, pre-production is so much. So I have a client who she's like, it's so easy to work with you. I just come in, sit down, say the stuff. I said, it's because all the work we did ahead of time. So I try to prepare people as much as I can. When I go to the shelter, we have everything ready to go before the dog ever walks in. When you came into the studio today, everything was ready to, we turn on the mics and the camera and the lights and we're ready to go. So pre-production is so much of it. And then just enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not have to be perfect at all.
Yeah. And I think you have such great leadership too, in terms of you're setting the tone. So when someone comes into your studio, if you're setting the tone of ease,
Yes.
like an easy feel, enjoyable feel, best day ever, then people and animals will key off of that and be willing to have that experience.
Yeah, for sure. Like I always joke the best compliment I ever get at a family photo session is the dad or the guy will say, that wasn't so bad. I'm like, yes, high five. I did it. When people like bring their kids and they're like, wow, this is the first time the kids really enjoyed being photographed. Or when someone comes in for business portraits, oh, we're done already? That was so great. That was so fun and so natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that really takes a lot of work, or a lot of intention, I should say, to really create that.
Yeah. And I'm in my zone. I'm in that flow. That's the one time in my life I feel like I can knock everything else out of my mind. And I'm only there for that person, business, family, whatever it is I'm doing. That's when I'm in the flow, and it's 110%. Yeah.
Your zone of genius.
Yeah. Yeah. And in that flow. Yeah. It's really cool.
I love that. That's so cool.
Thanks.
Very cool. 13 years you've been in business.
Here in Colorado.
Here in Colorado.
Yeah. So I had a few years in Washington State.
Wow.
Part-time before I moved because I was still at the veterinary hospital too and doing some other things. So yeah. So by the time I moved here, there was only one of the kids left in high school. So it seemed so easy. And she was self-sufficient. Like she wanted to do her own thing. So I started my photography business, but gave the vet hospital a lot of time. They're still my client. So yeah, it's been at least 13 years just here in Colorado, full time.
So how long have you been an entrepreneur then, would you say?
Oh, okay. When I was 11, I harvested worms to sell fishermen at the side of the road.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know who bought those because I lived in the city.
Did you find worms in the city?
We had a big yard and there was this method, and then we had the Chinese food boxes that we bought and put a little dirt in there, and you put the little, and then Sunday morning early you sit out there, worms for fishermen.
Where were they fishing?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, so that was like 10 or 11.
Aww.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to, and then went down the road of working for other people because that's what responsible people do.
Grown-ups.
Yeah. I've had a lot of interesting jobs in the meantime.
Yeah, very cool. But 13 years is a long time of having your own business and being in business. You've already beaten the odds, I would say, many times over in terms of not folding.
Yeah.
So what do you think what would you attribute your success to and your sustainability? Like, what are some things that you've learned along the way?
Oh, there's a few things. First of all, tenacity. Halfway through there, or not even halfway, I went through a really traumatic divorce. And I had to do like a 2-month break. What do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? And I did the lists. If I did this and this and the pros and cons, and just everything was like, no, photography, duh, you're still going to do that. So that was tenacity, and that's just what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then what I've learned in the last few years, especially once I moved into this bigger studio space, and it felt like a lot more pressure. Okay, now I got to for realsies do business. And like we say in eWomen, put my CEO hat on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that, not just because I'm sitting with you, but is coaching. And you're an instrumental coach in there. I've had some other coaches, and it can't be understated because there are those hard days.
Yeah.
Really. And I can tell a story about that. We'll probably get to a little bit later in the podcast, but it's really been knowing other people are out there. Not everyone has this polished facade all the time. Just like they say on social media, like that's the sizzle reel, that's the highlight reel, which I know, I create those for a living. But there's like the real person back there struggling too, and hence surrounding yourself with either a one-to-one coach or a group of people. It's just so validating and uplifting. That's what keeps me going.
Because we wouldn't let you quit.
Yeah. Yup.
We would hunt you down.
Oh. Okay. I promise I will stay.
Yeah. That's such a great point. Like, it really is the community that keeps you going sometimes.
Yeah. Agreed.
What else have you learned?
Oh, gosh. There's probably a whole lot. I'm that person who probably doesn't look back on my wins as much as I should. And I hear that all the time from coaches. Look at your wins. What have you already accomplished? And I just tend to move on to the next thing. So when you ask me questions like that, I have to look back. What other things besides just community is, probably looking at the whys. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why is it good for the community? Is there a need for this? Yes. So knowing that I'm not just making money, which is important, don't get me wrong, but also affecting these other people's lives. They're not going to be as visible if someone like me is not helping them. So I think that really helps too.
Yeah, I think that's something that I've learned from you.
Oh.
And something that has really stuck with me. You said something early on, and I can't quote you correctly, but it was around being visible and standing in front of the camera. And you talked about, I think maybe it was around that story around the shelter pets and really having to get over yourself because your why was stronger.
Yeah.
And you can probably say it better, but when your why is stronger than your resistance, you can overcome it.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I give that story of the shelter pets, it was a brand new thing, the live streaming, and I had just dabbled in it. And I thought, man, if this could help the dogs, if this could just help the dogs, I'll figure out the rest. I don't care how weird I look on camera if I know where the stop button is. Like most people don't even know like how to turn the camera on and off at that point.
Yeah.
If it could help a dog find a home, I'm in. Just like the photos I was taking, I'm not going to adopt all those. I am the bridge between. It's those kind of things. This will make a difference to someone else, so it's worth me being just a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's really powerful.
Yeah.
The way that you talk about that, because it really does, knowing your backstory and how shy you were as a young person.
Yeah.
And really to see you now is just amazing. You have to share with the audience about your story about getting on the big stage.
Oh, I'm not allowed to say this word, but TED style talk. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I talked about this in a 5-minute talk at eWomen like a year or so ago. I had this opportunity, me and 9 other people in pet fields, animal fields, were invited to speak at an event, this whole evening event. And we were coached on how to have stage presence and where to walk and where to stand and how much to move and memorize our entire talk. And it needed to be something that was inspiring, a broader group of people. And most of us sitting in the green room were like, we didn't know we were in for this, but here we are. Yeah. So we persevered through it. And I'm backstage, trying not to drink gallons of water because I feel like I can't talk.
Yeah.
But afterwards I thought, wow, I did it. And nobody was mad at me. Like I could stand out. I didn't have to be that fly on the wall. I say the shadow of the fly on the wall as I was as a kid. I could go out there, tell something to the world that I thought was important, that maybe they could find important after my 8-minute talk. And everyone smiled
Yeah.
and clapped. And they're like, you did it. Yay. And that was so empowering and really helped me get over that, like a hurdle from whatever reason as a kid being super shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really a pivotal moment.
Yeah, for sure. So you were on a big stage at a conference in front of...
I've been at conferences too. So this was an event specifically for that,
Okay.
but I've also taught at conferences.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been photography. Maybe I'm teaching them how to do live streaming or any kinds of anything else. And those are fun because it's teaching. So I always wanted to be a teacher. And as a little kid, I remember in first grade, like, ugh, this is so boring. I could do better than her. And that wasn't in my personality really.
Yeah.
But I just went, ugh, yawn as a first grader. And I remember teaching my sister and brother, my little sister and brother, put a little board up and would teach them math. So when I get into a teaching situation, I just really like that. I just come alive. And there's the play with off of other people, the question and answer. And that just feels fairly natural, whether it's here at the studio or on a stage and people have to get a microphone back and forth. That feels a lot more comfortable too than here's my stance on the world. Hopefully you like it. So the inspirational talks are harder for me than the information and the teaching.
Yeah, I think it's maybe because the focus and the ideas are all yours.
Yeah, maybe. And how much I love collaborating.
Yeah.
So the teaching side pulls me. Yeah.
That's cool. But you've come such a long way just since I've known you in the past few years. So Monique and I know each other. Just for the audience, we know each other through eWomen Network. We were both in the same chapter here in Northern Colorado. And then I became the managing director, and she stuck around even then.
Of course.
and has become a client, both a private client and then a client in the 90-day Marketing Accelerator. But I remember early on some discussion when you were thinking of considering getting this studio. This is a large studio and a big chunk of money to rent the studio. And you were pretty intimidated, and look how much you've grown. Now it's just, I can't imagine you not here.
Oh, yes. This is my favorite studio I've had. It's the biggest. I always had that dream of having a place that the community can come together.
Yeah.
That I could create, but also other people can come in and create. So, yeah, it was worth it. But I did have that conversation with you. Hey, I'm taking this on. It's going to be a huge step, a huge identity shift, honestly. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in. And then I hired you as a one-to-one coach. Okay, let's make sure we get the marketing rolling and the cash flow ringing. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel you've grown since, how has your identity changed and grown since moving in here?
One of the things about when I moved in here is that I don't have a home office. And so everything I do, unless I take my laptop home, sometimes I do, but everything I do is here. So one of the things I've worked with you and other teams is when I get here, okay, now I'm at work. I'm going to do my routine. And this is all I do here. So that has really helped step into that, okay, serious business owner shoes. And so that has shifted a lot. And that was very intentional because I remember working with you and someone else and just, I've got to get to this identity shift that is vital, and then put the processes and systems in place to support that. It's still a work in progress, transparency. But oh gosh, I feel so much closer to that now than I did.
Yeah.
My smaller spaces were so restrictive and I felt so disjointed having a home office and then a little studio, and every week, every day I'm here all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, you've come a long way. It's been impressive.
Yeah, and I've been able to experiment with different services and offerings and event types. And so that's opened up doors and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what has that been like? The experimentation of even over the last 13 years of all the different things that you've experimented with. And because I think entrepreneurship is a big experiment. Like we're always learning, experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't work. Talk about that a little bit in your journey.
Yeah, I love experimenting, honestly.
Good.
So I'm
It's
creative.
in the job description.
Oh my gosh. Obviously I'm a creative person in this field, but just overall, I'll be like, oh, I have this idea. My problem, I don't know, is that I implement it really quickly. Oh, I have this idea. Let's implement right now. So I'm not actually afraid to change and shift. There are some things that it's harder to let go of. So one of the things that I did when I moved in here is I scaled almost to nothing in my YouTube channels where I was teaching because I didn't have the time or resources anymore. And that was a weird shift because, oh, but I'm a teacher. That identity seemed to fade a little bit. So I've had a chance to work through that. Now I forget the question.
About experimentation.
Experimenting. Yeah. But the thing is, for me, I probably experiment a little much. And so about 5 or 6 months ago, I decided that I wanted a new mantra that was go deeper and stay longer. And part of that stemmed from a coaching we had. And we were talking about, I said, I have this idea for an offer. And we were in our call and you're like doing the research and like, yeah, this is great. And this is great. And this is great. And I thought to myself, I don't want this to be a flash in the pan. I think this is really going to benefit a lot of people. So I'm not going to jump to a new thing. I'm not going to talk about this for a month at the studio and then jump to a new thing in the next month and jump to a new thing. That's too disjointed. But I went in and it evolved, and that I still love talking about that.
Yeah.
the testimonial videos.
Yeah.
And so I've had to pull back on some of the changes in creativity because it was too much spaghetti on the wall. Yeah. But I'm very open. If I hire a coach, I'm going to do everything I can to do at least like 70%. just because everything else in life, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do 30, but
Right.
I want to go in. I don't want to just like courses sometimes. You get them, you stick them in a drawer or hard drive and you never look at them. That's not how I approach some of these bigger coaching opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you're now one of the students in the 90-day Marketing Accelerator.
Yeah.
And it's been so great having you in there because, I don't know, your energy, first of all, but you just bring so much to that community and so much depth of experience and perspective. So I really appreciate you being in there. What has the experience been like for you to be in the 90-day Marketing Accelerator, which for those that aren't familiar with it is a group coaching program. And it's 90 days long, and we're really accelerating not only marketing activity and action, but also really laying a strong foundation of a simple marketing plan and executing on that, and then evaluating and changing, improving as you go.
One of the things that I liked about it that I didn't think I would, I wasn't sure. So I've done one-to-one. So it's just you and me, we're head down in my business. But what I found was I was missing community a little bit when I only pick one-to-one coaches in any area of my life, because I have a couple different coaches. And I thought, you know what? I need to be in a community of people because we can pull from each other. And what's been interesting, though, is it's worked just like your one-to-one. So we all get a chance to say something. We get the Melissa knowledge. Like one of your famous quotes that I absolutely love is, all marketing works. So when everyone's in there, they have different marketing ideas. Cool, that works. How are you gonna implement it? Or what do you see that happening? Like very asking us questions, but in this small group setting. And I think it's really awesome to be able to hear other people's, and then they can give insight too. Yet we still have the foundation from you with our extra pieces too, like Excel spreadsheets or whatever it is. Yeah. So I feel like it's a way to get that group coaching feel and that community feel with other businesses when maybe I'm not, or concurrently have a one-to-one coach as well.
Yeah, I think it's been really neat because you're all on the same journey as entrepreneurs, and marketing tends to be a challenge for most women entrepreneurs. And so it's nice to be in that cohort together where everyone is figuring it out and hashing it out and working on it together.
And I went in with an intention to work on one project. So I thought, you know what? I want to work on my next offer for my pet and family photography. And that is what I have worked on in that for the most part. Sometimes something else will come up and we have coaching opportunities, which feels luxurious because we'll get this one-to-one with you, even though we're in this group. Okay, that was cool. I don't want to take advantage of you, but we're in here.
Yeah.
It's so luxurious because I've done the one-to-one with you. And the price, I'm like, how'd that just happen? This is so great. The amount you can get done in 5 minutes is incredible, just incredible. But I decided to take this opportunity to work on one project, and it's kept me accountable. It's kept me in action, because I'll be like, okay, this is weekly calls. We have a call. Let me see what I've done this week for this project. Oh my, not as much as I thought. Or I'm right on track, or whatever it is. And I know that when we check in, we're all going to say, what are our wins? What do we need help with? Where's our gaps? And things like that. So that has really been a nice accountability for me in that project.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. So what have been a couple of your wins, or a win that sticks out?
I kept it going. So I did the back end even when it was frustrating. So sometimes when I do these, there's so many little moving parts in the CRM program that it can just be like, I don't want to do this today. But I had a date of when I wanted to launch it and when people are going to sign up. And so that's been good. People haven't signed up for that yet because it doesn't actually start for a couple more weeks, but all the pieces are in place. So that feels really good instead of scrambling the week before. And I'm more cognizant of, okay, I need to gather this for marketing. Let's take some maybe time lapse of the setup. So get a little behind the scenes. So I'm thinking through that ahead of time of what content I'm going to need later, what questions people might ask. Those are some good wins for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, you've made a lot of progress. It's been fun to watch. So I'm just looking through my questions because you answered some of these already.
Oh.
Has there been a moment as part of the 90-Day Marketing Accelerator that hearing someone else's challenge or a win has shifted something for you?
Yeah, I think it gets me back into that frame of mind of possibilities, especially if I hear someone else's wins. Go girl, or whoever's in the group, good for you. Hey, that inspires me to also keep going, even though it's tough. So I do really like that. And then when I hear that someone tried something and it worked, like, oh, we can put ourselves out there. It'll work. Melissa says all marketing works. So seeing other people's wins and their progress and just the different way they come about things and how you always have your simple marketing plan, right? You're like keeping us right in ease with that. Like you can make it easier, even if we've made it really complicated. That's me. I make it really robust and then I have to pare it back to be more simple, which is fine. That's just part of my process. But does that answer? Now I can't remember what you said.
No,
I get so excited about it.
I know. If there was a moment when hearing someone else's shifted.
I can't think of a specific moment actually off the top of my head.
Yeah. But you did answer. Yeah. How it inspires you or hearing other people's wins.
Yeah. One person on the most recent call was talking about giving herself some new system to keep her motivated, and a physical way that she decided to do that was so fun and whimsical.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. So that was a cool moment too. How can I incorporate something like that in a different way?
I love that. I love that. So what is it like from your experience when you come to the group and maybe you've had a tough week and you're not feeling like anything is working, or you're not feeling in win or celebration energy? And I start most of the sessions with, let's talk about wins or celebrations, and everyone else is celebrating and you're like, I don't have anything to celebrate. What is what is that experience like, or how do you deal with that?
First of all, the people in the group and most people that hang around you are very supportive, and it's non-judgmental. And so they're compassionate. Everyone I feel like can wrap around and go, oh, if it was a hard time, tell us about that. Or if we're just feeling meh, you'll dig deeper and you'll see maybe there is a win in here somewhere and we haven't found it yet, or you haven't recognized it as a win because maybe I've slid right past it. So I do feel like in that kind of environment, because it's just so different to be with other business people.
Yeah.
I could maybe talk to like my sister about it, but she doesn't own a business, doesn't quite get the nuances. So when you're in that group of other business people who really want to see everyone succeed and want to lift everyone and hold everyone, it feels very safe and uplifting. And after the call, like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we've created an environment where you don't have to always come and be positive Polly. Like, we all are pretty real about this stuff is hard.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I love I'm like, you immediately set up the environment for that though. So we immediately know it could be call number 2 and someone's having a hard day and they're feel safe enough to say something.
Yeah.
Or brave enough, however you want to put that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's so interesting to use the word safety or safe, because I think in your work and what you do as a photographer, videographer, and that is probably I would say that's part of the value of working with you, is that you are able, whether it's intentional or not, to create safety for people.
Yeah.
And animals.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially
it's
animals.
Super important. Because safety is belonging also. We only want to feel like we belong.
Oh, I love that. That's a really neat shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Very neat. So who do you think, in your experience, would benefit most from being part of the 90-Day Marketing Accelerator?
Oh, I think it's someone maybe like me who's looking for a small group setting that everyone is seen and everyone talks. Like, you can't hide in the back in this kind of thing. It's not like there's hundreds of people in there and you can be like, maybe not today, and then duck out. No, you're going to be seen, you're going to share, you're going to grow. But if you want to do that with other people, and this is on Zoom, so you could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really interrupt your day. So I think people that are looking for that, marketing, obviously, that want to do, like for me, I'm working on a specific project. Maybe if I'm working with you one-to-one on everything, this is a great place to work on that specific project. Or honestly, if you've always wanted to work with Melissa, you always wanted a taste of what it's like to work with Melissa, this is a perfect chance to get in there and get some real stuff done in these 3 months. It's a good amount of time to get movement on whatever you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you tell someone that may be on the fence about joining?
Oh, absolutely do it. You're going to make progress. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Unless something catastrophic happens in your life or whatever, or you're out of town for half of it, you will make progress, no matter what it is that you're trying to work on. And that's hard to say about some programs. Oh, maybe I'll come out feeling better, or there's other reasons to go in programs, but this is really something that moves you ahead in whatever you're working on and with the other people in there. And it's a little bit of networking too, because we make sure that if someone is offering a class, that we tell everybody about that.
Yeah.
So there's some networking aspect in there too, and support in the real world. I'd say just do it. And it's like, what, a third of the investment of one-to-one coaching. So if budget is a concern, this is a great way to get in there.
Yeah.
And again, get stuff done.
Yeah. Really move the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that, watching all of you support one another in your endeavors and share things out to other people. And I love that. It's been really great.
And I can just envision your different 90 days with slightly different people maybe. So even if you did this several times over, you're never done with marketing.
Yeah.
You're never done with networking and supporting other people. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you so much
for
coming on the show and inviting me to do it in your studio.
Yes.
This has been really fun.
Oh, yay. See,
it feels very luxurious.
Okay. And I'm following up on my promise, best day. We're fun. We're relaxed.
Yes.
We just pushed a button and started talking.
Yeah, and I do have to say, it's been a really easy experience. I've heard you talk about it's easy, but it really is easy to just walk in and everything is set up. I don't have to bring anything. I sent Monique a text and I said, what do I need to bring? What do I need to do? And she asked me a question about, do I want chairs or a table? And that was it.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's how easy it is.
Yeah.
I talk to people all the time that are telling me they want to start a podcast. And I think one of the biggest things that keeps people from starting a podcast is, what am I going to do about all the equipment? I don't have a studio. It's, what's going to sound like and whatever. And for me, I just ignored all of that because I was like, I'm going to get it started. I'm that let's just get it started person, and then we can perfect it as we go. But having a studio like this, it makes it super simple because you've already thought about all the equipment.
Yeah, and I love all that. I can geek out on that
thing.
But see, if someone just comes in and sits down, they can just stay in their zone, in their flow.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about all the gadgety things everywhere. It's not worth taking up brain space for you. Like, just get in and share all of what you have to share.
Yeah. I can say this is much more fun than me doing it on my own.
Oh gosh. Yay.
All right. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
And I so appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Everybody follow Melissa. A plug she didn't ask me to make. She's the best. Hire her for all the things.
Oh, and also tell us what you're up to and how we can keep in touch with you.
Oh, I have so many things going on. So obviously this podcast space is rentable with or without equipment, whatever you want to do, audio or video. I have what's called core marketing sessions this spring, where a group of people come in and get fun, not stiff headshots and not a full branding session. It's that gap between. So I'm doing that for businesses to have a small group come in and get all the pointing and all the things you need in Canva that you keep using the same photo for.
Yeah, no more stock photography necessary.
Yeah, no stock, no AI. This is you and us having fun. I have that. I have for pets and people a smoke and mirrors that's coming out this spring, which is very colorful and bright and fun. And it's only up for the month because it's a lot of setup, but it's all analog. It's all for realsy stuff. Yeah. And then I'll be starting to talk about podcasting.
Nice.
Yeah, so as we move later into the year, I'll talk a lot more. I'm starting my own podcast that I'll probably have you as a guest on.
Oh, I would love to.
Probably, for sure, actually. What was I thinking? You'll for sure be on my podcast. Yes. So that's what I've got going on right now.
Cool. We'll make sure and put links to your social media and your website, everything in the show notes.
Yeah.
You all can follow Monique. I highly suggest following her on Instagram because she does great reels and her business is so fun to watch because not many of us get to work with pets in our everyday life. And
yes, a lot of behind the scenes
that you do.
Lots of behind the scenes. We got some behind the scenes of this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm everywhere at Silver Paw Studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Hey, thank you for joining us for this amazing conversation. I hope that it was impactful for you. If you're interested in joining us in the 90-Day Marketing Accelerator, we will be opening up a new cohort. And so if you want to make marketing simpler for you, do it in a group setting with fellow women entrepreneurs and have fun doing it, I want you to join us. You can get all the information on my website, melissaandkellogg.com, or the link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there.